Welcome to the News Belt on the AM show. In our first story, NPP MPs have amended their original request to Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin, calling for an emergency sitting by adding more government business they expect to transact when the House is reconvened. You will recall that on Wednesday, at least 42 of those NPP MPs appended their signatures to a memo seeking to force the hands of Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin to recall Parliament following the indefinite suspension of the House. The majority have now sent another request to the Speaker, which includes even more business. But who gets to decide what is an emergency issue in recalling Parliament? Listen to the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, on this matter. And former Majority Leader Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu also revealing on PM Express that Alban Bagbin disagreed with the ruling by Speaker Professor Michael Kyei in 2020, and that it was strange he had taken this decision now.
I remember 2020,
yes.
Professor Kyei, at the instance of the party, writing to him to expel the Honorable Sema. He then proceeding to say that he construed that to mean that his seat had become vacant. I, as a then majority leader, in conclave, I told him I disagreed with him.
So in 2020, you
yes.
privately told
in conclave,
Professor Michael Kyei
yes,
that
and
you
the Honorable
disagreed with
Bagbin, the current speaker, was the second deputy speaker. That's my worry. When I said so to Professor Kyei, he agreed with me that no, Professor Kyei would be wrong.
So Alban Bagbin,
yes,
who was the second deputy speaker
yes.
in 2020, agreed with you
yes.
that Michael Kyei was wrong to declare Andesiama's seat for Fomena vacant.
Yes. And my reason for saying that was that I did not consider a declaration of intent into the next succeeding parliament as amounting to exiting his party. I didn't. And then when the party wrote that they had expelled him from the party, or he had automatically exited the party, I also felt that that did not amount to the person resigning from the party or resigning from parliament.
And in 2020,
yes.
Alban Bagbin took the side that you cannot vacate the seats of current MPs just because they had they had declared an intention to contest
Precisely.
as independent candidates.
So when I disagreed with
or been expelled for the party.
When I disagreed with Professor Kyei, I cited I buttressed my case with my argument with what had happened in 1993. And as I said, Saint Alban agreed with me. I'm referring to him.
Why Saint Alban?
Oh, I mean, oftentimes I affectionately refer to him.
And his response to you when you say that would be?
Oh, I mean, he takes it in his stride. Right.
But he fundamentally, more importantly, he agreed with you.
He agreed with me. So we left it. And that is why I wonder how come, he makes this U-turn on this.
Well, the former majority leader also says the leadership of the House has to engage and build consensus on the developments in that House.
It's important for Parliament to sit, even if not to transact any business, at least to allow for the running of the days. That, okay, because we have to satisfy this, Parliament will sit, not transact any other business, apart from ensuring that the CI would mature in good time to enable us to conduct our elections. So that is one of my greatest fear. Now, what are we doing?
How do you cure that?
How do we cure that?
Afonyo says they want to get the signatures to compel. Is that a good strategy?
My worry, and the Speaker has done it. The last time they garnered the requisite number of signatures, what happened? Whereas the Constitution provides that within 7 days after he receives it, he must summon Parliament. The Constitution does not provide when Parliament should be summoned. He says when he receives it, within 7 days he must act to summon Parliament. Right?
But he can summon Parliament on
1 month after.
December 7th or November.
1 month after.
Yeah.
That's the difficulty, which is what mischief the new standing orders sought to cure. That once he has it, he must act within 14 days. That is worst case scenario. But if it's an emergency, like let's say
you
that
think this is?
it is an emergency. Yes, what we are relating to now, it's an emergency, and you see, because of what is happening in the north, the Boundaries Commission's bill must be passed expeditiously.
What's happening now? Very briefly.
Oh, you know, the threats coming from the north of the jihad.
The instability.
The instability there.
The Sahel.
We need really to have a determination of our boundaries to enable our forces to really be able to protect us. That bill is there. We haven't done it. So it's important that we attend to it.
Now, in other politically related news, the running mate of the MPP's flag bearer, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, is warning nursing and teacher trainees not to fall for what he terms sweet stories of the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama. According to him, John Mahama cancelled the allowances for teacher and nursing trainees, but failed to honor the payment of the feeding grant he promised them. He says such a person cannot be trusted, and therefore the trainees must not fall for his promises of automatic recruitment after school. Addressing students of the Kolebu Nursing and Midwifery Training College in Accra, Dr. Opoku-Prempeh urged the trainees to reject the NDC to protect their allowances.
The gentleman who was the Minister for Health, who did it, was called Rojo Betel-Lulu. He said the money to go to the hospital, they diverted it to a campaign. What has hospital building got to do with nurses and teachers and law? I want you all to continue to tell NDC that we prefer the Alawa more than your sweet stories. Alawa is equal to MPP. Alawa near MPP near Bawo near. So if, like you are telling me, if you want your allowance to continue, you have only one option. 7 December, what do you have to do? 7 December, what do you have to do? 7 December, what do you have to do? The reason is simple. The one who cancelled it for 2 years before Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia government appointed Matthew Opoku-Prempeh as the Minister of Education and changed and brought back the allowance. That person says that he cancelled the allowance because he wants to build hospitals. Have we finished building hospitals in Ghana?
In our next story, the Adan West District Security Council has banned the distribution of food and drinks at public events. This is part of several measures in response to a cholera outbreak in the Adan East and West Assemblies. According to the Ghana Health Service, at least 43 cases have been recorded, with 1 death in the last few days. First, listen to the Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bekwe, who tells Joy News that at least 12 more people are in hospital receiving treatment.
We have 43 confirmed cases, but I need to put it in the context. You see, when you have an outbreak and it's fully established and you are very clear about the kind of outbreak, you don't need to keep confirming the cases. You confirm when you have it in another place, which is different from where you have an epicenter. So this 43 is not the full picture. It's the ones that we confirm. You understand? So what happens is that assuming you have 5 sub-districts, you get one in a new one, then you go and confirm it there. So this 43 is a confirmed case. We have a number of the suspected cases, maybe about 100 more. But what is important for us is how many are in admission now. I think there are 12 of them who are in admission. And I need to state that there's a threat along the coast. This has 37, and then Adan West has 6. So these are the confirmed cases. As I said, there are other suspected cases, but as I explained for the initial stages, for us, we have established an outbreak, we are clear what we are dealing with, so we do not go on confirming unless it moves to another sub-district, which is new. They will try and ascertain what it is. I think we have gotten 1 or 2 deaths. I have to be sure, but there's 1 death that I know of. So those are the fatalities. What we are hoping to do is to minimize the number of severity of cases, those to avoid the death. And while we provide the necessary external ingredients like good water, and then they providing sanitary conditions to avoid the escalation of the outbreak.
Well, the Adan West District Security Council has also already activated some protocols, including a total ban on the distribution of food and drinks at social gatherings. Samson Tete Bankpa is DCE of the area.
Those structures are that the social distance, 1 meter, should be practiced all over the district, especially at public gatherings. Talk about churches, mosques, funerals, political rallies, and all those public gatherings. We decided that at funerals, they should not share food and they shouldn't share drinks at the funeral. So after that, we
including other social gatherings as well.
Including other social gatherings.
Okay.
And then we also decided that Veronica buckets should be used at public gatherings. Talk about the schools and then the churches and those funerals. And then also communities and then homes should practice the Operation Clean Your Frontage. So that we, from the meeting, we organize communal labor, especially at the areas where the menace started from. And then after the communal labor, the practice is that each and every one should go by the Operation Clean Your Frontage at home, so that you make sure your place is neat. You clean up your place and then the environment that you are surrounded by. And then after that, we've also decided that they should, whatever the refuse they will get in their homes, they should burn, and what will be left over should be put in sacks, so that we have a Operation Clean Your Frontage card that will be going around each and every day to collect them.
Traders and commercial drivers at the Ketia market in Kumasi have decried the spate of potholes on roads leading to the market. They allude to traffic congestion due to the poor roads, complaining that the local assembly has failed to heed their concerns. They're calling for road rehabilitation to enhance safety and accessibility in the area. Kwejo Bing-Mreko interacted with some of the traders.
The roads are bad, but they still take money from us. The pit has been here for a year now. Traders can't occupy the spaces here. The cars can't continue their journey when they get to the stretch. The drivers are charged, but the roads are still bad.
Now, women in mining areas have been admonished to prioritize their health by seeking early detection of breast cancer and seeking early treatment. Speaking at a breast cancer screening and awareness event in the Western North region, General Manager of Perseus Mining Ghana Limited, Daniel Kyei-Mensah, highlighted the company's commitment to breaking the stigma surrounding breast cancer through education, screening, and research. He stressed that raising awareness empowers individuals to act, and their efforts aim at minimizing the risks of breast cancer by promoting early detection within the mining communities. There's more in this report.
In a bid to promote women's health and well-being, Perseus Mining Ghana Limited, in collaboration with the Women in Mining chapter, organized a free breast screening exercise for women in their catchment area. The event, held at Wassa Nkonya in the Wassa Amenfi East Municipality, aimed to raise awareness about breast cancer and encourage early detection and treatment. Community Relations Manager Emmanuel Danso, who spoke on behalf of the General Manager of Perseus Mining Ghana Limited, indicated how crucial it is for women and men to prioritize their health.
Breaking the stigma surrounding breast cancer starts with education. It is crucial that we encourage both women and men to prioritize their health. Awareness is the first step in this journey because it empowers people to act. Perseus believes in supporting research, spreading awareness, and offering hope to those affected by breast cancer. This year, we are not only talking about it, but actively doing something. The health talks and breast screening exercises we are offering today are meant to minimize the risk associated with breast cancer and promote early detection in our community.
President of Women in Mining at Perseus Mining Ghana Limited, Cecilia Amache, indicated in order to prevent breast cancer, proactive steps ought to be taken to deal with the issues when they arise.
Together, we are stronger in the fight against breast cancer. Prevention is also key. Whilst we can't prevent all cases, leading a healthier lifestyle through regular exercise, a balanced diet, and limiting alcohol consumption can reduce the risk. I encourage everyone here to share this information, support breast cancer awareness campaigns, and make sure the people around you are taking their health seriously. One conversation can change life. Together, we can create a future where breast cancer awareness saves lives and no one must face this journey without support.
A personnel at Women in Mining at Perseus Mining, Wilhelmina Tanoku, emphasized personal hygiene as one of the keys to help reduce the incidence of breast cancer.
It's all about personal hygiene. So we use our braziers about a week. Some of us do that, but it wouldn't be advisable to do so. You sweat a lot, so you would be advised that each and every time you have a change of your underwear, as in specifically the brazier, because we are referring to the breast at this moment. So you keep it clean and you keep yourself clean, and time on time you examine. We don't expect that we get it, but you do the examination yourself as we are being told to do. And then if there's anything you detect or you expect, you can report for it to be treated.
The exercise benefited over 300 women and forms part of Perseus Mining Ghana Limited's corporate social responsibility initiatives.
Now, in a thrilling first-time achievement, the Osei Senior High School has stormed into the spotlight, defeating seasoned competitors Ghana Secondary Technical School and APAM Senior High School. With their eyes set on the ultimate prize, the school's unstoppable momentum has brought them to their first ever semi-final berth. Meanwhile, defending champions Presbyterian Boys Secondary School also put on a stellar show, knocking out Pope John SHS and the St. James Seminary to secure their place in the semi-final stage of the National Science and Math Quiz. My colleague Jacqueline Ansumayevwa has more.
It was a battle for the ages, with Osei Senior High School locked in a fierce face-off against the giants of GSTS and a determined APAM SHS. The two schools went head-to-head, leaving the crowd holding their breath as the scoreboard lit up round after round.
At the end of the first round, GSTS has 4 points. Osei Senior High School has 18 points. APAM Senior High School has 18 points.
With every correct answer, the tension built, leading to a dramatic final showdown.
It hasn't been easy. This is our first time qualifying to the semi-finals. We're going to win the contest. We're going to win this Science and Math Quiz. I told you.
While Osei celebrates their historic win, Presec Legon is on a mission to defend their title after brushing aside fierce competition from Pope John SHS and St. James Seminary. In a tense contest, Presec's experience showed, but they admitted that it was no easy ride.
I won't describe the contest as soft per se. From what I can see, it was a really challenging contest. All the schools put up their best, especially Pope John's. They give us a run for our money.
If you've asked for him, if you've prayed to him, if you know the kind of relationship you have with him, then you should be confident that he's going to lead us through. So I was not shaking at all. Obviously, there will be this kind of, let's see what happens. But then through it or we brush it off, and then we know that God is going to help us.
But it's not over yet. Today, the final 3 spots in the semi-finals are up for grabs as St. Peter's Senior High School, Wesley Girls and Mawali School prepare to battle. With 6 schools already through, it's anybody's guess which of these powerhouse institutions will join them. For Joy News, I'm Jacqueline Ansama Yaboa.
Well, it's time now for us to give you our business updates for the morning. Welcome to business. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has revealed that Ghana is yet to complete the total debt restructuring program. This is despite closing the chapter on the domestic and external debt, including bilateral creditors and Eurobond holders. But speaking on the IMF Today program in Washington, D.C., USA, the Minister of Finance noted that they were working to conclude the $2.7 billion owed commercial bilateral creditors.
As part of our arrangement with the IMF, we decided to restructure our debts to bring our debts to sustainable levels. We started with our domestic debt restructuring, and the sacrifices of our people ensured that we concluded that restructuring with about 95% or more participation. So it was greatly a success. We followed that with the restructuring of our bilateral debt with our bilateral creditors. That was also very successful in a negotiation between us and the Official Creditor Committee for Ghana. And this led to significant savings, debt service relief of about $2.8 billion. And then following this is our restructuring of the Eurobonds. The Eurobonds, about $13 billion. That was concluded in the first week of this month. Another great success because we saw over 98% participation in the debt exchange. The benefits we have derived from this so far includes an outright debt cancellation of about $5 billion and another debt service relief of about $4.3 billion. And so between the bilateral creditors and the Eurobonds, we are talking about savings of about $12 billion. So we think this is a very great success. We are still having an outstanding restructuring with our commercial creditors involving about $2.7 billion. We are working very hard to conclude that. So far, I can say that we have been pretty successful at our restructuring. The participation has been great, and we see ourselves moving on the path to debt sustainability. Why we succeeded, which other countries need to take into consideration in their restructuring, is number one, what we call fair burden sharing, because we had to do domestic debt exchange, which you haven't seen many countries do. We had to do that first to demonstrate our ability and our capacity to sacrifice the sacrifice of our people in biting part of the bullet before we went out to do the external debt restructuring. And so because of that, the bilateral creditors as well as our Eurobond holders saw Ghana's seriousness and readiness to change.
The Ministry of Works and Housing is pushing for the use of local raw materials for the construction of infrastructural projects and buildings across the country. Deputy Minister Dr. Prince Hamid Amma said this was the key to reducing the climate impact on the building and construction industry. Speaking at the launch of a roadmap to decarbonize Ghana's construction and building sector, he reaffirmed government's commitment in addressing the housing challenges.
This sector accounts for over a third of global energy. That's about 37% of global energy related carbon emissions. It is also responsible for 40% of global energy consumption, 30% of raw material extraction, 12% of global water consumption, and 20% of waste generation. These statistics highlight the urgent need for us to mitigate the environmental impact of the construction industry. The roadmap we present today outlines strategic actions aimed at minimizing the environmental footprint.
Let's settle now for our currency updates for today. Well, that's it for our news bell this morning on the AM show. You do want to stay for the next segment, the news review. We'll be right back.